Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday, March 1st. It's March already. Crazy. It's me, your friend Gabe LT. I'm here with the great, the legendary, one of my favorite guys. Not just a great writer, but he's a new old friend. He's the great Mr. Chuck Dixon. How you doing today, Chuck?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
All right. Coming to me from Florida. I'm in San Diego. We are splitting the country, right? We've divided it up into two kingdoms.
That's it.
Strangely enough, my half is the East. I'm sorry.
You can have the West.
I can have it. You don't want to come to California?
Not really. We got enough of those people coming here.
Right. Yeah. How many do you love it when you see new California license plates there in Florida?
Yeah. I mean, usually you can tell the seasons are changing in Florida because the color of the license plates are changing. But now it's all year long.
Okay.
We see Alaska. We see them everywhere coming to Florida.
I loved it. For the first time in my life, I went to, I think I told you before, I went to Disney World for my 25th wedding anniversary, mid-November. The weather was perfect.
Yeah.
And Disney World delivered. You know, I just love the artistry of it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Say what you will about woke stuff with the Disney Corporation, but just fake pirate caves and haunted houses. And that stuff has inspired and delighted me for decades since I was a little boy. I love that stuff.
Yeah. Well, entertainment's gone woke, but the craftspeople that do stuff are still amazing.
Right. Just crazy. So what have you been working on lately? I know you have, usually 10 or 12 plates that you're spinning at once, but what is it that you're doing on that you want to tell us about right now?
I'm still working with Arktunes, but I got I'm working on novels. I got a new Levon Cade novel coming out soon, Levon's Prey. But right now, I got a series called Unprepped. That is available for order at your local comic shop.
Let me hold on. I think I have that here. You want to tell us what Unprepped is? Let me.
Yeah, it's by me and Scott Beatty. We did Robin Year One and Batgirl Year One together, among a bunch of other stuffs. And it's a survivalist comedy. It's about the apocalypse comes, and it's about these two neighbors that live in suburban community in New Mexico, and they are not prepared for the end of the world. So they have to figure out what they're going to do while the rest of the human race is scrambling to continue their existence.
Oh my gosh.
It's I see it as like cast with like Jennifer Aniston and Jason Sudeikis and people like that. So
okay.
There's a lot of humor, but there's a lot of suspense too.
Okay. So yeah, like a thriller, like comedy thriller, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, so that's your old friend Scott Beatty, Beatty or Beatty? I've always said
Beatty. Yeah, Beatty and Marlon Shoup, who I'm going to use your term, a new old friend. He came on board to do the art and just killed it. Brett Smith on colors. So it's from Antarctic. So if you go to your local comic shop or Amazon or wherever you buy comics, it's available for order. It's a 5-issue miniseries.
Very cool. Unprepped. Yeah. Are you a prepper of any sort?
Yeah, kind of. My youngest son, like his closest friends, actually his other family is this Korean family that lives in the neighborhood. And we kind of got into living the way they live, which is basically they don't buy what they need, they buy what they use. So if they use a lot of something, they buy a lot of it and just stock it up. And it's kind of a way to go. So it's kind of like prepping, but it's not, we're not thinking a comet's going to hit the earth tomorrow or anything.
Not thinking that war is going to break out in Europe or anything like that.
Now, although my dad always told me always have enough ammo, so we're okay for that too.
Right. No, we prep at this house a little bit too. Not Insanity where they would make a Lifetime television show out of us or anything.
Right.
But like you're saying, we buy what we use and stuff like that. My wife does have a wonderful garden going in the backyard with those good garden boxes that all the women seem to like to post on Instagram or whatever. And she's got quite the green thumb. It's delicious what she brings in the house. So I'm thrilled.
My wife's the same way. She's amazing what she can grow. I mean, when we lived in Pennsylvania, she had not that large a garden, but it gave us all our vegetables for like 6 months of the year.
Right. Yeah, I think it's great. We've been having a lot of greens lately. A lot of like Brussels sprout greens and really good cabbage. I don't know, really good stuff.
Awesome.
Cranberry Langers wants to ask, how many buckets of dehydrated cheese and broccoli do you have?
Maybe 10 of those survival buckets. See, we live in Florida, right? And everybody preps here because of hurricane season.
Sure.
You might be locked down for a week with no electricity. We got a camp stove with gas and all that stuff. So we're ready in case the power goes out.
Yeah, no, we have the dehydrated creamer, the dehydrated milk. We have all that stuff too. So
we do that.
Yeah, we don't get the hurricanes over here though. We just get perfect weather year round.
Yeah. Poor you.
It does have a downside though. It makes you a wimp for any other weather. I was born in Greeley, Colorado. Okay, it snows there. I went to college there. I grew up here mostly in San Diego. I'm so cold now at like 50 degrees, 55. I used to walk around in my shorts in Colorado at 28, 32 degrees, whatever. I'd walk around with the jacket and shorts on, and I can't take it now. So San Diego does have a downside.
My blood is so thin after 20 years in Florida. I'd hate to have to go back north again in the wintertime.
And are you from Philly?
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Okay, all right. What is there any so Philadelphia, the only thing I know about it are the Rocky movies, unfortunately. Was it like that back in the 70s? Were there groups of Italian men singing around burning trash cans or anything? Or
in South Philly, yeah. Well, Rocky is set in Fishtown, which is kind of like down market Italian neighborhood. But South Philly, where the Vet Stadium is, that's a whole culture unto itself. It's an amazing place. That market that he runs through in in all the Rocky movies, the 9th Street Market. I mean, that's a mecca if you want, fresh vegetables and stuff like that in town.
I see.
So he represented the city well.
Okay. Yeah, but he's not actually from there, right? He's a New Yorker or something?
No, he's from South Philly.
Oh, he's from Philly.
Yeah. That accent is not New York. That is Philly. And whenever I talk to him, I just drop right back into that accent. So.
Oh, that's right. You know him. That's right. Yeah. Of course, because Expendables Go to Hell.
Yep.
That was his idea, but then you fleshed it out and turned it into a script for him. That's right.
Right.
That's right. Absolutely. And now he's down in your neck of the woods, isn't he? In Miami or somewhere?
Yeah, he's over in I think West Palm Beach or somewhere over there.
Okay. Yeah, no, we're huge fans of him at this house, and his brother Frank too.
Yeah.
They both seem like great guys.
Well, I don't know Frank, but I assume he's a great guy because Sly is such a great guy.
Yeah, very cool. Let me ask you about that hero's journey and the masculinity to the max in a Rocky, in all of our great fiction. And of course, it's gone away, and you have mealy mouth, apologetic, wimpy men here. And you, as a writer, understanding character and character arc, can you pinpoint to me what you think are the major things that are turning that heroism away? But I see a little bit coming back. I told you about that Reacher series on Amazon that was really just very normal fiction. It wasn't right wing or left wing. It was just, wow, this guy's a hero. He's a competent, tough male. So to make my question clear, can you tell me where you think that all started to get sideways and why these wimpy men started taking over?
Well, I think it was it all comes down to lazy writing. When I was growing up, it was John Wayne and Robert Mitchum and guys like that.
Sure.
And when they showed up in the story, you knew everything you needed to know about them. I mean, they may have a little intro to just reinforce how tough this guy is, or how smart he is, or how resourceful he is. But after that, it was about the story. It wasn't about how his mom treated him or something bad happened to him in his childhood or any of that crap they do now. And it's like, so it was about story. So we got our hero. He's set up. He's a tough guy. He's masculine. He's going to save the day. And then they throw challenges at him. Today, it's all about the person's past or dark mysteries that they uncover about the people around them. And it's all quite tiresome. And the thing is, you say that like the masculine thing's gone away, but it hasn't, because that Reacher series did amazing numbers.
It was renewed in 2 days. Well, the thirst for the masculinity has never gone away, but the powers that be did away with it, and then sales and viewership have suffered. So you're right; it hasn't gone away in us, in the audience that want to see it.
Well, they've done away with interesting female characters too. They've done away with
Sure.
interesting minority characters. You know,
Sure.
everybody's just sort of like, this is all the same. We're all on a
Yeah.
level field.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you don't want to know too much about Reacher, so I won't say too much because you have a.
Oh, no, I mean, I know about it. I just don't want to watch it and get it in my head because I write in that genre.
Yeah,
So-
you're writing your great Levon Cade series. I'll try and dig up some art for that. Those are your novelizations. But in the Reacher TV series, the lead detective at the station he's at is a black guy. And I was like, oh, here we go. He's going to be like, slavery's your fault, Reacher. And Reacher's going to cry and apologize. Reacher's going to take a knee and kiss his boots. Nothing like that happens.
Yeah.
And in fact, the black detective, you could have taken him out of the show and made him Chinese or, Polish or whatever, and the story
Right.
would have worked the same. They wrote him. Now hold on to your seat. They wrote him as a human being.
Oh, my gosh.
He had humanity.
Wow.
And he wasn't like wearing a dashiki and yelling at people and going like this and stuff. It's so, as a minority, just let me say, as a brown person, it's so insulting. My goodness.
Yeah,
So,
it's like I always use the example in the 1960s on TV. You would see the character, and he was the harmless Jew, and he was a Jewish character, and he was always a nebbish. He was always sort of not feminine, but just sort of like neutered. And I'm like, wow, this isn't like any of the Jews I know.
Right.
They're all different, and they can be tough. They can kick your ass. But in 1960s television, you never saw that. They just own a little shop. That's all Jews did on TV. And I thought, wow, how insulting is this? And that's what they do to all minorities now.
Right. Yeah, he's the black guy. And I'm kind of like, well, what do you mean? Because all the black guys I know are different.
Yes.
They're human beings. They have different personalities. So yeah, it's definitely benevolently racist. And I think it's going away though. You're older than me and you got to see, and something I say to people is I think woke is going away. I think everyone's had an ass full of it. Everyone's tired of it. And I really do think it's going to go away. And the thing that's proved to me always is not what we theorize, but what we've actually seen factually happen in life. And I think mostly of the hippies screaming and going to Woodstock and taking LSD and mushrooms. 15 years later, those same people from Woodstock rolling in the mud are on Wall Street doing the Gordon Gekko impersonations, right?
Yes.
If you can be a hippie and putting a daisy in the front of a rifle, and then you can be on Wall Street to buy, sell, buy. Anyone can turn from woke to reverse back to a normal person. So I think woke's going to go away because everyone has had just enough. They tried to cancel Joe Rogan and it didn't work. That's a good sign.
Well, I think that their downfall, their Hitler's bunker, is this new Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah,
I think this is where it breaks. This is where it breaks because you're messing with something that nobody wants you to mess with in such a stupid way, a pandering token, stupid way that it's just people are like this. I mean, I see this guy, I see these elves and I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. This is, why didn't you just have him in a clown costume? This doesn't work.
Hold on. Sorry. Oh my gosh, in a clown costume. That'd be better. Yeah, when I see the big black dwarf lady, I think, okay, so the liberal weirdo, let's be honest, liberal, the crazy people that wrote that, they're racist against black people when they do that. And here's how. I don't know if they know, but black people have real heroes, real legends, and real mythology in their culture.
Yep.
So quit saying that the white culture is better and we just need to put a black face on it. It's actually very racist to do that. If you want to fill a show with black people, Mexican people, whatever, they actually have histories and cultures. I don't know if you're aware of that. They have fairy tales in Africa. You could adapt that into a show. You unimaginative. You said it. It's lazy writing. But I think the heart of it always is this. They just want to, Chuck, I put a black person in Lord of the Rings. I'm an actual hero, and you are a Nazi for disagreeing. That is what's happening.
Yeah, I see that's my equivalent of marching at Selma. I put funny ears on a black guy. So
I don't know how I do it sometimes. It's just I am great. I am an actual hero for doing it. Yeah. So, but I do think woke is melting away, like the Wicked Witch of the West or whatever. It's melting finally. People are speaking up. You speak up. I speak up. I think the fans are speaking up. Like that's enough. Do you think this Amazon Lord of the Rings things? You think it's going to flop for their ratings or whatever, or what?
Yeah, I mean they're never going to make back. I mean it'll get viewership out of curiosity and people that just want eye candy. but it's
Right.
not going to make the kind of money that they need it to make, because they obviously poured a fortune into it.
Right.
That's the biggest
Right.
pity, is that it looks gorgeous, but then when you see the characters, it's like, this is idiotic. Plus,
Yeah.
even the white characters don't look right.
Yeah, they look off. They look like they're like
it's like
out of
they're all
shape
cleaned
or
up or
whatever.
something. You know?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I think lazy. My brother always says, and I don't think he created this saying: never ascribe to malice what you can ascribe to incompetence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I wonder how much of the SJW thing, the horrible progressive writing, is just incompetence. I think that's a huge factor. I do think there's the narcissism of them wanting to be heroes for sure, but I
Right.
think they're just also not good at this because they're not hardworking people.
Well, they're mediocrities, and they're
Right.
trying to make themselves special. It's like, you're never going to be special. You don't have enough talent to be special. So they separate themselves from the herd by being woke.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think woke, this is how I boil it down. You tell me if you disagree. I think woke is a religion, and in that religion, the God is you. The person you see in the mirror is God. And there are two commandments. There are two commandments in woke, and they're the same commandments, two sides of the same coin. No discomfort and pleasure at all times.
Yeah.
That's why they have to cancel, because you said something I don't find comfortable to hear. So we got to cancel you. You thought something I didn't like thinking someone thought. And then I have to include gay, black, illegal, Latino, whatever characters for pleasure, because I get the pleasure of being a hero. Never
Right.
mind the verisimilitude of the story I'm trying to write no longer making sense. I need to cram strong women in this story so I can get the gold medal for being a hero. I really think that's what drives woke, is just it's validation seeking behavior because they are their own God. What do you think? Am I crazy about that or what?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, because look at what they do. I mean, they don't come up with. I mean, if you wanted to make your cast more diverse on different things, come up with a creative reason why it's diverse. I mean,
Right.
look at a show like The Wire. The Wire, the cast
Fantastic.
90% African American, because that's what it would be in that,
Right.
and it's filled with these truly diverse characters that you
Right.
really care about. I mean, that show even did the whole lesbian thing and made it make sense. It made dramatic sense and had something to do with the actual story of the character, instead of just whatever the hell they do now. I mean, it's like, and they can't seem to think of how to put these characters in, because it's almost like they don't know anybody like that.
I think everyone they know is just like them, just another weirdo Hollywood writer type. And let me ask you, because I write, but you are a writer. I also draw and all that. What is the deal with writers? What is the deal with this weird academic narcissistic? Because you're not that way, but you must know a hell of a lot of writers. What is the deal with the sanctimony and the arrogance, and what is it?
A lot of it's job security. I mean, I know a writer, I won't name him, who was apolitical as you could be. Whenever politics came up, he would just check out. You know, he would just go to his happy place because he wasn't interested at all. But now he's one of the most woke guys out there. And I know it's a facade because it's about job security. It's like, hire me because I believe what you believe. You know, so I think most of it is that. I mean, you got a few fire breathers who, they were always like this. I mean, Eric Larson was always like this. I mean, it's not he's not faking it. He really believes this stuff. And God bless him if that's what he believes. But the rest of them, they're just going along for the ride. They're just nodding along.
I hear behind the scenes. I won't repeat because I said I wouldn't, but I heard some stuff the other day about some big time writers talking about, I don't believe any of this crap. I just do it because I need to. Yeah. And I heard that secondhand, but it was very reliable. And of course, we know this. We know this stuff. I feel like I didn't do it, but to a degree, I just kept my mouth shut the last 5 years at DC after they went Trump derangement syndrome.
Right.
And I could hide behind my race. They thought, because I look like this, that I totally was on board with Trump derangement syndrome. And all I had to do was just be quiet and make beautiful artwork. And I finally, this thing called the conscience got to me. I just said, you know what, Gabe, can't keep taking money to do this. You can't. This is evil. This is actually evil. And I want to know if you think I'm being sanctimonious about that, if I'm being too pearl clutching, because I really do think it's evil to destroy something like Superman. The American myths and legends that are very important for our culture, that help us tell ourselves who we are, tell children who we are, and then culture them as they grow up of what do we believe in? How do we act? What do we say? I do think it is actually truly evil to destroy things like that when they've been so good for society and I didn't build them. I have no right to destroy that. It finally just got to me like, I can't do this. This is awful.
No,
am I being too precious, or is it serious?
No, because these are your core principles. This is stuff you believe. And, a lot of us got into this business because of these iconic characters, and to see them intentionally torn down. I mean, this isn't a mistake. They don't like heroes. They don't like exceptionalism of any kind. And plus they're, again, lazy writers. Right. They don't know how to write Superman as Superman. So they got to make changes to him that please them. And, but don't please anybody else. I mean, it is a matter of conscience, because in the 90s, DC wanted to do an anti-landmine Batman story. Like Batman comes out against landmines. And they came to me first because I wrote Batman and they knew I'd do the military stuff. I'll do the research. And I said, no, I happen to like landmines. So I think landmines are a force multiplier for our soldiers. So I'm not, so they moved on to someone else.
Okay, well, you were the wrong guy.
No, yeah, but my thing wasn't like I'm standing on a soapbox or anything like that. It's just like I just always gave them my opinion. I couldn't be quiet.
So they wanted to virtue signal back then in the 90s about landmines.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, they did Batman was anti-gun, Batman was anti-landmine. I guess Batman was pro-abortion was next.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could use a gun if he used it for an abortion, I guess. Yeah. Baby comes out and just blasts the baby.
That's it.
Yeah. So, there's no logic there. Again, the religion of woke is all about you make yourself God, and then anything that gives you discomfort is an evil sin. And that's also why they're not good writers, because writing and art, it takes effort. And that is uncomfortable. Effort gives you discomfort greatly, but you reap the reward. So I think you're right when they want to bring all this down, all these standards of beauty and excellence and all that. That's why they don't want Superman to be good and have such great moral character and all that. That's why they don't want you to draw sexy women and all that, because that heaven forbid they do a push-up or don't eat half a sheet cake. You know what I'm saying? Because standards are great discomfort, and that is a number one sin in their religion. So let me check on this chat right here, though. And you can let me know what you think of that. I want to welcome all the people coming in. We got Cranberry Langers, as usual. Matt Six Bear, Gold Gauntlet Comics, Marcus Killigrew. I think Luna is here. Angela Curry, Fischozo, very interesting name. See you all the time. Paul Pizzlewizzle, who I am convinced that is not his real name.
Possibly not.
Pizzlewizzle, if that is your real name, condolences.
Is it the Boston Pizzlewizzles?
Right, yeah. And General Piggy and others are here. So welcome for our great friend Chuck Dixon. And if you're coming in late, he was showing us his book Unprepped. This sounds fantastic. Is it out yet, or is it?
No, it's up for. It came up for ordering like last week.
Okay,
so you can run out and order it.
Okay, and Unprepped was a family in New Mexico, and some sort. Do you say the disaster, or just disaster hits the world?
Well, a solar flare hits, and they have a neighbor who's a prepper, but he's preparing for the wrong apocalypse, and so they make fun of him, because he is an obnoxious jerk. But then when the shit hits the fan, they go running to find him. Yeah,
I really love the color on this.
Brett did a hell of a job.
Yeah, the illustrations slightly remind me of Giuseppe Camuncoli, a little sketchier than Giuseppe Camuncoli's. Yeah. But Brett does a fantastic job here. It reminds me a little bit of a Dave Stewart kind of vibe on this one. Dave Stewart always has the BPRD looking like this with Hellboy and all that. Really beautiful, like purples in the skin and the blue and then the warm background. Fantastic work on that. And that's from Antarctic Press. You can pick that up at comic shops and everything. So, and then I wanted to ask you about this. You just sent me this in the private message on Twitter or on Facebook. You trying to threaten me or something, Dixon?
No. Graham and I have that giant-sized two-fisted manly test. Well, it's Graham's project. I'm working on it, but it's Graham's project. And he and I have been photoshopping pictures of the cover into existing pictures.
Right. Those have been fantastic.
I found this picture from an old comics store appearance of me strangling Bane, and I thought, hey, I'm going to have Bane holding a copy.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, hold on. We have a super chat from Anthony Gonzalez Clark. Let's scroll through some fantastic My Sister Suprema art on Arkhaven.com. New chapters coming soon, by the way. Is he one of the artists on that?
Yeah, he's my artist. He is my genius artist. Anthony, you're awesome. Come back. He got a higher paying job, so he had to take a couple of weeks off, and it's killing me. It's killing me.
Okay, I'm going to look that up. My Sister Suprema.
Yeah.
Suprema. How do you want to say
Suprema. My Sister Suprema.
I'm saying mine with the Spanish accent. Sorry.
There you go.
So, but here, let me. You want to tell us about this really quick while I look that up? This is some artwork I did last night. Pencils by David Williams, and thank you for the $5, Anthony Gonzalez Clark. Pencils by David Williams, inks by the wonderfully ancient Gary Martin, and colors by myself. I'm the puppy, and I'm 43. I'm the youngster in this. Written by Chuck Dixon. What is this, and what's it about?
It's one of my stories in Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales, the Graham Nolan project, which you can support over at Indiegogo. And this is called Volsung, and it's a 10-page Viking story that I took out of an Icelandic saga that I read years ago. So I'm not sure how much of the Icelandic sagas are true or not, but it's a kick-ass story.
Yeah, I love the intro on that. I won't give it away, but I just love this. I don't even know if it's going to show up for the readers to read, but some of that background stuff that I read about it, about what the debt and so I won't spoil it. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I can tell you that, in Viking culture, if you killed someone, you paid reparations to their family. But if you killed someone and didn't, that was called a secret murder. And then anybody could kill you without paying reparations.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Secret murder is the best kind of murder, by the way.
Exactly. It's the perfect crime. But if they found out, you were finished.
Yeah. I love it, though. I love the deceptive simplicity that David and Gary got accomplished here. I want to go real. Now, this is art nerd time. Go deep into now this is a JPEG. This is just an email version, so it doesn't have the crispness, but you can still see the value. The value is lightness and darkness, for those of you that don't know. The value that Gary Martin and Dave establish here with these lines. I love stuff like that.
It's amazing stuff.
Cow. I think so. I just left it alone in colors. I put that rim light up there, and then his chest here. I just put a little bit of shadow down by the stomach here as it got darker. But I left all these ribs and stuff. I left them alone because the rendering is so fantastic. Same over here on this arm and shadow. I barely touched it because, again, I didn't want to screw up that rendering. Because when it's really busy, just an art tip for you guys out there, the busier a piece of art is, don't go and make it double busy with your colors, because you'll break it apart. It'll shatter the big shape, the composition. And if you ever wondered what was so great about Jack Kirby, it wasn't the super ugly faces that he drew. It was his composition. No one could do composition like him before he showed up. And composition in art is the big shape. And that's the shape your animal, your amygdala, that's the shape that's picking up on. And that's why you're picking up on that flying action. So yeah, if you got really detailed art or spots that are really detailed, tread lightly with the colors, so.
Well, you're an invisible hand at coloring, like I'm an invisible hand at writing. You don't want to see it, and you allow us to see the artist's hand. I hate it when the coloring obscures the artist's hand, because that's what comics are about. They're hand-drawn artwork, and we want to be able to see that.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. But where I come down on the side of art is more important than writing in comics. The writing needs to be good, but I can handle a comic with okay writing as long as the art is great. I can't handle comics with bad art, though. I have no interest. No. Even if the story's good, I'm like, this stinks. Because to me, it's at least 51-49 art over writing. Do you disagree?
No, it's 50-50 for me.
Oh, okay.
Right,
so a 1 point difference. So we're
and it's not like the writer is more important. I just think they're both equally important.
Okay, that's fair.
That's why the purest form of comics is the writer-artist. I mean, somebody like Graham. Graham creates pure comics.
Yeah, there's a reason they're called the Eisner Awards.
Yes.
He's the ultimate, and that's what we all are aiming for. And it is hard in this business because we're all so creative, and we're all so good at it that I do XYZ, and the guy I'm working with will say, well, make it XYC or whatever, and he's still right, but it's just not what I intended, or vice versa. And that's that give and take you have to learn as a teammate, where they could accomplish something just as good in a different way. And since you're not working alone, you have to compromise sometimes, or you have to argue for your thing and win the argument to get your way. So it's delicate because you got to have manners and be professional about it. So
my guide to every artist I ever worked with is, as long as you make me look like a genius, I'm all right.
Right. Yeah, because I read the script, and this page here, or the page that David drew here, that is not what's in the script.
No, and I don't care because he made it wonderful.
Yeah, it's very close. The theme is exactly the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the exact specifics of the visual, it's not the same. So again, that's a perfect example of the give and take that goes on. You know what I mean? So how do you feel when you write something and then it comes back and it accomplishes what you wanted, but it's not the exact same beat or the exact same image as you thought?
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I know a lot of writers will take out the script and compare their script to the finished art. I never do that because that's not the point. I care what the reader sees. It's like Billy Joel, when they used to be in the recording studio, he didn't want to hear the playback through good speakers. He wanted to hear the playback through crappy speakers so that he knew what a person driving around in their car was hearing.
Oh,
and that's the way it is with me. It only matters what the reader sees. It doesn't matter about my ego or what they changed. And, like I say, as long as they make me look like a genius, I'm happy.
There you go. So that's what's really been going on all along.
Yes.
With Punisher and Bad, you just pick great artists.
Oh yeah. It's got to have that great artist, and then you don't write scripts as much as suggestions. You inspire them toward this terrific imagery.
Right, and that's how Dave and I are working on Truth, Justice, American Way, our book. He came to me with this fantastic idea about a trinity of superheroes, not a trinity, a triumvirate. I don't know, a group of 3 great heroes. You may have heard of a concept similar to it.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I wrote a story based off of his idea, but then I send him script, and then he'll send me notes back. He said, well, what if we did X, Y, Z? So I fully expect to write stuff and then just see different pages come back to me.
Sure.
But Dave is a genius. You know what I mean? When it comes to design, like his designs. Oh my gosh. When I saw the characters at first, I thought, these are action figures. These are amazing.
Yeah, they're great because they're iconic superhero figures, but they don't owe anything to any other character.
Right. Yeah, Dave worked in consumer products forever over there at Warner Brothers, and he worked what else? And then he worked on Ben 10 as a character designer.
Right.
And I think it was Paul Dini hired him to do what was it? Batman Superman cartoon. He worked on that.
Right.
I think he worked on the Dwayne McDuffie one. I could be wrong about that. The Dwayne McDuffie Justice League. I think he did that. But yeah, he was over at Warner's Animation forever, and it shows.
It's terrific stuff.
Yeah, let me see if you agree with this. The best illustrators I've ever worked with all seem to have animation backgrounds. Have you ever noticed anything like that? Because I've colored hundreds of people at this point.
Right.
And I have picked up on that the guys have the most Jack Kirby insanity like energy it just looks like it's moving across the page. Those guys are always guys that have done some sort of animation stuff, at least a little bit. Do you agree, or have you noticed that, or no?
Yeah, I'm not going to say they're the best. They certainly have an edge because that's a tough school to go through, animation. It's very demanding. But I worked with a lot of guys who didn't come from animation. They're strictly comic book guys. Absolutely. So as long as you're serious about the craft,
Let's see. We got a comment here. Radio face. A face only a mother could love. A face only a mother could tune into on Friday night. I care what readers see, and that is but one reason why postmodern comics fail. Yeah. That's absolutely right. I think a lot of our colleagues forget we are in like sales and customer service. You know what I mean? We should be like when I was in college, walking around the floor of Home Depot, asking people if they needed help, and did they, So absolutely, we care what the readers see. If they're having a great experience, then mission accomplished. Teflon Ron, one of my moderators and a great guy, he's always here. $237 away from 30K. Let's get Truth, Justice, American Way over 30,000 back in today. Thank you for saying that thing I paid you to say earlier this morning. Kidding. I wouldn't pay him. I made him say it.
I backed it. You should too.
Yeah. So I'm so proud of this. This is a dream come true. This is as close as I've gotten thus far to the Will Eisner thing where you're writer, artist, all that. You know, I'm not drawing it. I am coloring it and co-writing it with the great David Williams. It's fantastic. I'm in love with Justice. This is my favorite character.
Yeah.
This is basically Charles Bronson, Midnighter, Batman, and Punisher. This guy's intense. And my favorite little thing, a little wink that David Williams did designing him, is etched on the side of his probably Glock, you know, like a police officer. On his Glock, it says easy way, and on the nightclub, it says hard way. So make of that what you will, friends. So yeah, that's fun. And then these might be bad guys, they might be good guys. Everyone looks kind of bad when you have a red rim light and then lightning behind you.
Right.
Try it at home. You'll look bad too. These could be very friendly people. I'm not here to judge. And then, so if you want to buy our comic, let me get a little serious here. I want you to buy it. Please do. Hit the like, check it out. It's in the description, the link to this book. And this is page 1 of the book here. You know what our book is already. You've been reading this book for years. You know what I had when you read the classic action adventure stuff, when you watched Star Wars in the 70s and the 80s, not the new stuff, when you saw Ghostbusters and Goonies and all that, that's what you're getting here. Action adventure, tough guys, gorgeous women, horrible bad guys, and just fun too. I want to inject a lot of fun into this, but it is the kind of thing. My favorite comic book thing of all time is the Batman animated series. I feel like 7-year-olds can watch that and 47-year-olds can watch it and have the same sort of experience. So that's what I'm shooting for here. This thing will be great. Children can read it. It's not dirty, but adults will read it and be riveted and not be bored. So that's what we're shooting for with this book. And I think we're doing a good job.
It's great earnest entertainment.
Yeah. That's all. And we're not preaching from the right wing. Don't worry about that because we don't like the progressive, whatever at DC. No. This isn't going to tell you you're an idiot if you're a Democrat. I would never do that. And that would be just as boring as the stuff they do saying that right-wing conservative people are dumb. I would never do that. We don't do that in our book. David told me the way he put it, and I agree with him, is instead of screaming and crying about what we hate, let's talk about what we love, make some of it in an excellent level of content, and show people why it's beautiful, why it's important and precious, and must be fought for and preserved. So the art we love, instead of just crying and getting other people to make it, we're making it ourselves, putting our money where our mouth is. So please hit the link in the description and support this book today. Thank you so much. So where were we, Mr. Dixon? I
don't remember.
I don't know. You want to talk about? Let's see. Well, I'll look at the chat. Maybe they'll give us something to talk about. It says that's a great looking page. Something was a good TV show. Who knows what we were talking about? Oh, here's a question for Chuck from Tariowe. Question for Chuck. What artist do you enjoy working with the most? Now, be careful here.
That's a good way to piss off dozens and dozens of my friends. I've enjoyed working. There's always different reasons why I enjoy, working with someone like Graham Nolan. I mean, I know him. We've been friends. I know what to expect. We're on the same page. I know he's going to tell me when I'm full of crap, and I'm going to complain when he does a circular panel because I hate them. And but then there's guys like Flynn Henry who he's just a madman, and he would inspire me to write stuff I never would have written for anybody else because I knew this guy will draw the craziest, most insane thing I ask him to draw, and I've got to challenge him. I can't just I can't have two people sitting talking at a dining room table. That's not what he wants. It's got to be, planets exploding and fighting giant robots.
Oh, I love that.
It's different with every artist, because I try to tailor my stories to the art, to who's drawing it. And
sure.
my first question to any new artist I'm working with is, what do you like to draw?
Oh my God, that's exactly what I tell David when we're working on Truth, Justice, American Way. We're coming up with character designs or plot points or whatever. He just sends me private messages filled with Jack Kirby double-page spreads. He just sends them without any comment. And he's just telling me, write things like this. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So the thing I joke with David about is when people read Truth, Justice, American Way, I want them to open it and they have to duck when they're reading it. You know what I mean? Whoa, where's that coming from? And it's not just the giant boobs coming out of the book. It's punches and kicks.
Excellent. Excellent. I mean, because comics are an immediate experience. They have to delight on every page and every panel. You have to get it right from the beginning.
Yeah, let me address this because there was a question in it. Jacob Hernandez is asking me, I backed the triple pack. Oh, thank you so much. My mortgage company thanks you. You going to do in demand because are you going to do in demand? Because I'd like to back the triple sign pack as well. And I'm trying to pace myself with all these great books coming out. Well, first of all, thank you so much. It's very generous of you. I know there's like inflation and crazy stuff. Every penny you guys send my way, I got to earn it, and I really appreciate it. I plan on going in demand on this. I will, listen, I'm half Middle Eastern. I will sell to you, my friend. I'll make a great deal for you, friend. I'll make
come back to my stall. Come back.
Would you like to buy this hat? I'll sell you this shirt right now. Anything you want to buy. Nothing is really nailed down at my house. So, yeah, in demand for sure. Barrett X for $5. Very generous of you. Thank you so much, Barrett X. I'm a backer of RN. What is that? What is it?
Rock and Roll Ninjas.
Oh, Rock and Roll Ninja. Okay, awesome. And then Truth, Justice, American Way, which I'm calling T-Jaw. Thanks for making great comics, guys, and for being so nice to the fans. Thank you for being great, supportive fans. Thank you so much. Me and this older gentleman who I've recently befriended can just talk on the internet and then just laugh and have a crazy time. It is weird how this brought us together because I'd always been a fan of your work. And then we met and hit it off on here. That's really fun. It's really fun.
I think we share a lot of the same principles.
There you go. You're a fan of my big impersonation. Let's see. Let's scroll through my sister Suprema. You know what? Anthony Gonzalez Clark, artist for my sister Suprema. I went to Arkhaven and I can't find it because there's no search bar on here. And I've been looking, but yeah,
I'm gonna send you a link. Hold on.
Yeah, send me a link in the private chat there. That'll do it. Because I do want to show it. I didn't forget you. Let's see. Let's see. Well, you mean there's character called the Preacher in Truth, Justice, American Way? I don't know what that's referring to. I must have made some sort of joke, but so far, no. Let's see. Batman animated. Oh, I'm really behind on the chat. Sorry, let me check up here. Let's see. Justice and American Way are cool. The long ring neck truth makes me not interested. Afrocentric design. Well, sorry about that. That character's design is based on a person that David Williams met when he was a child. It was very inspirational and important to him. So it's actually based on a real life person. So that is the background there. I would never do tokenism. I would never go, oh, we need a half Ethiopian, half Greek woman. No, this was actually based on someone David actually met when I think he was a middle schooler and just completely inspired him. So we don't say that in the book or anything, but just so you know, we're not doing token stuff. That's nonsense. That's crazy. Let's see. Teflon Ron says, I came in late, but did Chuck Dixon say he was writing a Truth, Justice, American Way story?
No.
He did not say that. No. But Chuck, I'll tell you this. David and I, this isn't a comic book. We definitely want to do multiple volumes of this, and we want to make our own Marvel universe. We want to do Stan and Jack and Ditko and all that. That's what Dave and I want to do, and we have all kinds of ideas. And I wouldn't make an offer to anyone to write anything, if they were on my show today. But
I would not be averse, certainly, to writing something for you.
All I'm going to say is I know this is the kind of character you would like.
That's I dig him already. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you know everything about this guy already. I've read your books. You know everything about this.
So I could tell you stuff about it.
After the show, I'm going to ask you some stuff about it for Act 2 of the story I'm writing. Radio Face, the face only a mother could turn into. Hey, Gabe, you coming to any upcoming cons, and you're right on the handle. My mama doesn't even love his face. Oh, no, Radio Face. That's his sad origin story. I am going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. I will be at booth EE9 in Artist Alley for about the 14th year. That is the only con I know of that I'm going to this year. I don't know. I'll get back to Comic-Cons. Traveling can be going to Comic-Cons. But, now that I'm not on those DC Comics mainstream deadlines, I think going to Comic-Cons will be easier. Because, in the old days, I would go to Comic-Cons and it was miserable because I would bring this computer that I'm touching right here to color comics in the hotel room while I was at the show because the deadlines are always bored. So it wasn't fun.
Miserable.
Wasn't fun. It's a cool first page.
I sent you a link in the chat or whatever, the private chat.
Oh, okay. Let me get to that.
Because I don't want to disappoint Anthony. I
Oh,
don't want to break him. He keeps sending you money.
Right. Yeah, but he sent 5 and then he sent 2. You're doing it wrong. You got to go up.
Yeah.
You got to go up. You got to send 5, then send 10, and then we'll see. I was just holding out to see how much I could get. Wouldn't that be terrible?
That would be awful. I don't pay this guy anywhere near enough to begin with. He can't spare those dollars.
Right. So tell us about My Sister Suprema, and I'll take a look at some of the art here.
It's about this kid Randy who you see on the screen now, and he loves superheroes. He loves comic books. He wants to be a superhero, and he finds this weird website that tells him that he can have superpowers if he builds this machine and mixes up this special chemical. And he does, but the only problem is, by some quirk of fate, his sister gets the superpowers, not him, his older sister.
Oh,
so it's a sibling rivalry comedy and a parody of the superhero genre at the same time.
Yeah, I read like the first 10 of them, and it's very funny, actually.
Yeah, and Anthony is killing it on the art, as you can see.
Yeah, look at that. That's such great from Japanese animation. That face turning around yeah, fantastic.
I mean, I had this idea like 15, 20 years ago, and I couldn't find the right artist for it. And Anthony is so perfectly suited for this series. He's just doing amazing work.
Rock'em sock'em action, fantastic.
Yeah, we open on action.
Yeah, is Anthony? Oh, he's reading a comic book. Sure.
Yeah.
Is Anthony the pencil, inker, colors? He's doing.
He does. He's the whole show. He is the whole show.
Well, Anthony, you are doing a marvelous job here.
Yeah,
and I think Arttoon's Webtoon, or the Arttoon format, is a great format for this story and this stuff. I love it. Look at that.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Just amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing work. He gets everything. I mean, every panel serves like 16 purposes. I mean, he puts so much character into the characters. And he makes the stuff funnier. I mean, I see the episodes and I'm laughing, even though I wrote them, because he just takes them right over the top.
Yeah. No, love it. Great body language, good color, good composition, no circle panels. That's a fantastic camera angle. That's very cinematic. Like, she's going to look under the door of her brother's bedroom. So we do this overhead shot. That's fantastic because it gives you we've all laid down and looked under a door, right? I mean, I'm peeping on people constantly. And, but no, when you lay on the floor and look, you feel like a little disoriented because you're not used to it. And that panel really helps you feel that slight disorientation. Great work there. And it's just small details like that are fantastic. Also this, I love the little, where the uvula would be in the throat ends up being another screaming face. That's fantastic, like sensibility of animation. So
you got the mom, the character he really brings it is the mom. The mom, she's just a ball of rage.
I wonder if there's anything we could know about Anthony Gonzalez Clark's personal life with his mother. So
yeah, I don't know. Well, I wrote it too. So
no.
But he really takes her to like a Jack Kirby level of anger. So
with the mother, you don't happen to have an attic that nobody's allowed in, Chuck, do you?
No, I live in Florida. Who has an attic? No attics, no basements.
Okay, just wondering. I was asking that.
There is a swamp out back, though.
Oh no. Oh, here's the mother with a little bit of The Shining going on.
Yeah. You gotta see what she does in this doorway. It's this whole progression.
Get out of the back. Look at her body language.
Oh yeah, it goes
like this.
Anthony takes it all the way.
And the dad is just trying to have his beer and stay out.
Yeah. He's just like, leave me alone. It's Saturday. I don't want to do anything.
Oh, here she comes.
She's so angry she has to brace herself in the doorway.
Oh no!
Wait to see the next one. Oh God! I wrote this stuff and I'm cracking up at it, and I've looked at it a dozen times. But he just done such an awesome job.
So, do people buy this? Because many people don't know. It does have millions of views, but how does it work? Do you subscribe to this? Do you buy it? How does it work?
It's free. You can pay. You can get a paid subscription. You can also support me on Patreon. If you go to Patreon, you look for the Arkhaven account, and that's me. That's the Chuck Dixon slush fund.
Will you send me your Patreon?
What?
Send me your Patreon in the private chat. I'll throw it into the chat.
Yeah, let me do that too. Okay. But it's a free digital service, and there's dozens and dozens and dozens of weekly installments of a bunch of different stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
every genre you can think of.
So this is Arkhaven right here.
Yeah,
and looks great. Looks great. Zippy
I'm
the
gonna look for
Unicorn, very serious friend of mine. Hello, Charles. Hello, Charles. You're looking bro. How do you develop your story structure? I mean, Zippy the Unicorn. I have to use a serious voice. Index cards. I'll edit, perhaps. And do you need to know the end of the story before you begin writing it? Oh yeah. Hi, Gabe. What do you say to that?
Yeah, it's good to know the end of the story. I don't always know the end of the story, or I have a vague idea of the end of the story. I don't do a lot of outlining. It's mostly thinking of the big scenes and how am I going to get from one big scene to the other, and the drama and the characters. You got to trust the characters. So
Right.
that's how I work. It's kind of organic and weird.
Yeah,
but every writer's different. So I know a lot of writers that make copious notes and write biographies of their characters and things. I just don't do that.
Yeah, I heard of a writer, William Bernhardt. He's a New York Times bestselling detective fiction writer, and he has these great books on writing. And not everything's true, but I think generally they're great books. I love them. The Red Sneaker Writers, they're audiobooks. I've listened to them a million times. But one thing he suggested, and I haven't done it, but I thought it was interesting, is making like a Facebook page and filling out a job application for some of your characters. He said he's tried that, and it's actually kind of helped him feel them out a little bit.
That's cool.
Yeah, here's Luna Comics. I think I might be able to address the art side of this question. What if you're new to making comics and a family member is your artist? You want the art to be good, but how can you tell if the art is good if you're not the artist? Luna, every human being has pattern recognition hardwired into us. All of us can tell if art is good just by looking at it. Now, what all of us cannot do is say then how to improve it. There's a difference between knowing if you go to a restaurant and the food is bad. All of us know that. Only a few of us could go in the kitchen and do it better than the chef. You see the difference? I can look at bad art and I can fix it because I'm an artist, but most people can just look at it and say it's bad. They don't know how to fix it. But if art is bad. And if you have to ask, then it's probably not so great. What do you think, Chuck? Wrong or right?
Yeah, no, you're right. David Mamet, the screenwriter and playwright, he always says that, he'll bring something to a producer or movie producer, and the producer will say, that's not what I envisioned. And David Mamet's answer is always, you don't envision anything. if you could envision it, you would have written it.
Right.
So you're right. You know when it's good or it's bad, but you don't know how to make it better.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's
you gotta trust your artist's instincts.
Right. And I think a lot of people, that's where they fall into it. And I don't think they have any malice when they do it. But I think they say, oh, it should be like this. And if you're an artist like me, you just roll your eyes like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, I know it's bad, but you don't know how to fix this, or you'd be the one doing it.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
So Barrett X taking me out of context. How dare you? I'm peeping on people constantly. Listen, it's justified peeping. We'll get into the whole thing. I'll explain it. No. They like the panels of, I'm assuming, Sister Suprema. It looks like a funny book. Yes. And let's see what else. Parallel economies. I introduced my sons to Truth, Justice, American Way, and they loved it. They told all their friends at school. That is awesome. Now get those same kids to pool their milk money and go without. Listen, they're young. They'll bounce back from the lack of nutrition. I need to sell books here. I'm Middle Eastern. I got to sell, baby. So
they probably need to drop a few pounds anyway, right?
There you go. See, I already got someone agreeing. Justified peeping. Yes. Justified peeping.
It's artistic.
Right.
Not autistic, it's artistic.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, it's art research. That's what I'll say.
There you go.
Right. So let me ask you about that, because you said something interesting about DC Comics asking about the landmine Batman story that you never wrote for them, where he was going to come out and virtue signal. And you said they went to me for the military stuff because they know I do the research. What does that look like? If it's not too boring to talk about, what does that look like doing the heavy research for writing other than the obvious? What's your approach?
Well, I mean, like currently I'm doing a thing for the AUSA. It's a series of Medal of Honor winner comics that are, again, free on the internet. You can go to AUSA and find these Medal of Honor, these 8-page stories about Audie Murphy, Tom Custer, Ray Benavidez and guys like that. It requires a lot of research at the beginning, which they help me out with. But then I've got to do a lot of reading on my own to make it work as a comic story, because they didn't provide me with the information I needed to make it work as a comic story. And then it's looking up the visual reference, because I don't ask an artist to draw something that I can't provide pictures of.
Okay.
Some obscure weapon or something like that. It's like, no, I'm going to give you a picture. It's going to be right in the script. And if you need more pictures from different angles, you let me know. I mean, if you need to know what a Japanese soldier would use to light his cigarette in 1943, I got a picture of it. I can show you that later.
I bet you have on that bookcase behind you. Is it just all kinds of research, like reference novels and all sorts of things like that, or is that?
Yeah, tons of visual reference. I've got there's bookshelves in almost every room of the house, so they're just crammed with a lot of visual reference, which I don't need. I'm not an artist, but I want to be able to provide. And the internet, trust me, it doesn't have everything.
All right.
The internet is not the sum total of human knowledge. That is a lie we've been.
Well, are you telling me that Wikipedia isn't totally true?
I'm afraid to just break it down for you. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah.
I saw. Speaking of the internet not being true, I have a meme for you that I'm going to dig up, and you are going to love it. But let me ask you, this page here. Did I find the right one here? These
are the Medal of Honor comics.
Okay, let's see. Read online. So we'll take a quick look at this. And Audie Murphy, wasn't he? I saw him in some Western movies.
Yeah. He made a lot of Westerns.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with him. He's a little before my time, because he was right after World War II, right?
Yeah, he mostly was in the 50s into like the early 60s. Made tons of Westerns. Okay.
Yeah. You know who I got in? You know how I always get into Charles Bronson, or I get into one of these guys and watch a bunch of their movies? The guy I got into last week was Lee Marvin.
Oh yeah.
And I saw him in that Traitorous, Jane Fonda and him in Camp Baloo. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah, many times.
Yeah.
Many times.
When he showed up with the silver nose, I was like, is that Lee Marvin with the silver nose? It's like, I thought he was like the protagonist. And then I found out, he plays both roles.
Yeah. Okay. Kid Celine. That was a great movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that Nat King Cole singing at the beginning?
Yeah.
So
it's one of the few movies that has musical interludes that I like. They make perfect sense in that movie.
Right.
To have it narrated by Nat King Cole and Stubby K.
Yeah, I didn't know who Stubby K was, but I saw
if you're in the 60s, you would have known.
Was he like a Jonathan Winters kind of guy? Or?
No, he was like a vaudeville holdover. He had his own kids show on Saturday mornings.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay. Oh wow! So these will turn the pages and everything.
Yeah. This art's by Wayne Van Zant, who used to do the Nom with me at Marvel.
Wow! So how many of these have you done?
I've just finished, I think, my 16th one. It deals with Mogadishu and Black Hawk Down, the two Delta Force snipers.
Okay, very cool. Well, speaking of military and stuff, there was that. I think it was military propaganda. I don't think it really happened, but the horrible stuff going on in Ukraine, Russia right now. The first day it came out, the Ghost of Kiev was some ace fighter pilot, Ukrainian pilot, shut down 5 Russian planes. I never believe any crap like that when I see it on the internet. I just assume during the fog of war, everyone's lying about everything. But someone did point me to the Netflix adaptation coming out in 2023. The Ghost of Kiev. I loved this when I saw it. It made me so happy.
It's funny because it's true.
It's absolutely true. As you know, most Ukrainians are black women, and then most fighter pilots are women. We do all know this.
I'm sorry. They're sassy black women.
And strong and independent, by the way.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So it's so racist against, by the way, Netflix, Amazon, when you put us minority people in your stuff like this, you're being racist against us. Just so you know, you are.
Yep.
Goodness. Goodness, but yeah, this made me absolutely delighted when I saw this.
That's
That
funny.
is a perfect encapsulation of the garbage that goes on in pop culture. So yeah, thought I would share that with you because this is right up your alley.
That's
So,
excellent.
the Ghost of Kiev. What's a sorry. I need some more water. Sorry.
Yeah, well, the first casualty of war is the truth. So this is
Oh,
an
jeez.
illustration of that.
Yeah. What's her? So you're a great writer of dialogue. I'm going to put you on the spot. She shoots down her 5th plane, but her wing is on fire. What's her one-liner right into the camera? Give me that one-liner. She just smokes it. You know what? What is the one-liner?
Oh God. Oh, that's put me on the spot. I sweat this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Talking about
That's all
Jonathan
right.
Winters. I'm not Jonathan Winters.
Okay. Well, I don't know. She said, what did she say? I don't know. I'm coming for you next, Putin, or something like that. I don't know. Listen, that's the dumb version. I don't know what the good version is yet. Take me a while too. Like Chuck, I like to sweat it too. So, yeah. So
Well, that's
in the
the
next
question a writer
episode,
asks himself all day long: is there a better way to say this? So
yeah, right. So in the next version of Truth That's American Way, you will find out they're all illegal immigrants, all 3 of them, and that's what they're actually fighting for. Is to come to America and not have to show any documentation.
they were fighting for their way into America,
Right?
not the
That's
American way.
There you go. There's a little improv for you. Oh my gosh. Well, let me. Here's Teflon and on. What about the James Coburn movies? Who was Chuck Dixon's favorite actor to watch back in the day? If you had to, I'm going to alter this question. If you had to pick one tough guy, who's your tough guy? I'm making you pick.
Not the pander, but I gotta go with Bronson.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know how much I love Charles Bronson.
I know that.
It was like 3 months ago when I had John and I had just watched Death Wish, and I was just like, I can't believe how good this is. Okay, yeah, Bronson's a man. I just watched him in the Valachi Papers.
Yeah, my trinity would be Charles Bronson, Steve McQueen, and Jean-Paul Belmondo. Belmondo is a French actor. If you're not aware of him, you should be.
Don't know Jean-Paul Belmondo.
He died recently. He's like the major film icon of the French film industry. Never made an American film.
Okay.
Just awesome. He was his own stuntman, and just incredible guy.
Okay. Yeah. No, I just Bronson is like I told you, you're like a new old friend. I feel like Bronson is a new old favorite. Yeah. I watched Death Wish out of pure curiosity. So it's probably just some corny old movie from the 70s. One of my favorite things I've ever seen. And I've gone on to watch about 10 of his films. I loved Mr. Majestic. They wouldn't leave him alone. He just wanted to harvest his watermelons. So then he had to kill them all. That makes perfect sense in my world.
Get your hands off my melons.
Right. Right. That's a good.
It's all about bringing in the melons.
Right.
That's what was so cool about that movie.
Yeah. There's not much else. It's a very straight line story. And then I watched the Valachi Papers 2 nights ago. That was good. I really liked it. Yeah. And it was weird because the night before I watched Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I watched 2 prison movies back to back. My wife teases me because I don't like, not a serious phobia where I need a therapist, but like the thought of prison terrifies me. Could you imagine though, Chuck?
Yeah.
Just just in that little concrete box and, guys making googly eyes at you in the shower or something. And
the biggest fear to me is being locked up with a bunch of idiots.
Oh,
because that's what they would be. I mean, there's not a lot of Mensa. I'm not saying they're all stupid, but some of the stupidest people on earth are in prison. I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course. Can you imagine having to fight though, naked on the tile in the shower?
No, I don't.
I just would be afraid of slipping and falling. You could get hurt real bad. The floor's all wet. Your feet, there's soap on the floor, so it's kind of slippery. And
it's what happens after you fall. That's the problem.
No. Just fighting in the shower sounds so dangerous.
It's like running with scissors.
Oh no. Oh goodness. But you got any Bronson flicks you want to recommend to me? I've seen a bunch of them, but I need more.
Once Upon a Time in the West.
Loved it. I just watched that again. I've seen it before, but I saw it again about 3 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh. Breakheart Pass.
Haven't seen that, but I saw it on Amazon. It was suggested. Okay, I'll
That's a
check
good
that
one.
out. I'll check that out next. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But on my Lee Marvin stand, I watched The Professionals. Do you like that one?
Oh my God, that movie is awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I love the
And
twist
what
to
a
the story.
closing line.
Well,
The-
refresh
the-
me because I don't remember it exactly.
The guy, was it Ralph Bellamy calls Lee Marvin a son of a bitch?
Right.
And he says something along the lines of, that may be true, but you're a self-made man.
Oh, that's right.
You're one too.
Yeah, that's right.
Mine was an accident of birth, but you're a self-made man.
That's it. Yeah.
That movie, that Professionals, I could watch that. You could wake me up at 4 a.m. and say, we're going to watch The Professionals.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me wash my face and I'll be right there with you.
No, I saw, you see Claudia Cardinale and he's like, I can see these guys fighting over her. Makes sense. I can see these guys going to war over this.
Yeah. If you're going to go to war over somebody, she'd be worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. The ship that launched 1,000 faces, or the face that launched 1,000 ships. What the hell am I talking about?
Launched 1,000 somethings.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Sounds like a beef loss scene in your next campaign game. The shower scene. No, there'll be no shower fights in my comics. Absolutely not. Too dangerous. Too dangerous. Let's see. We got a suggestion here from Zippy the Unicorn. Gabriel El Taib. He's very serious, this man. Have either of you seen the film Mesrine? It's a foreign two-parter about French gangster Jacques Mesrine. They are quite awesome. Just deal with the subtitles. Just deal with them, Chuck. I don't want to hear you complaining about subtitles again.
I love subtitles. Those movies are incredible. Some of the best crime movies ever made.
Okay, so Mesrine is on deck.
Mesrine. I love it. Nobody makes a better crime film than the French. Nobody.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Police thriller, they knock them out of the park.
Okay. Is it in the tradition of all the noir and all that stuff?
Well, yeah, it's just a straight up gangster flick. They take you. It's like Scarface, but with more detail. They take you through his whole life, and it's true. And some of it takes place in Canada. It's wild. It's wild stuff.
Scarface with a lot more croissant.
Yeah. And, there you go.
I took French in high school for no apparent reason.
Wow.
My brother took it when he was a freshman. So then when I got to high school the next year, I took it, and it's done me no good. I've never had to use it, so that was a waste of time. Are you multilingual in any way?
No. I took German in high school. I remember a few of the practice sentences, and that's about it.
Oh goodness! So you know how to say "papers, please." That's how you.
I know how to say "Die Marsleute warten hinter dem Mond," which means the Martians are hiding behind the moon. That was in our workbook, so I remember that one.
They were trying to tell you guys. They had slipped that in there.
Yeah, it was a secret the Nazis uncovered, and they were putting it into German textbooks for American junior high school students.
Oh, I'm being corrected by Zippy. Come on, Gabe. It's pronounced Marine. Your French teacher weeps.
Oh, well.
Madam Gardner, I apologize. Madame
Gardner,
something like that.
Sit in the back of the class, Gabe. You pronounced the S and you shouldn't have.
Yeah, I should have known not to. I also should have cared.
I watched the movies and I didn't know. So
yeah, okay. Oh goodness. So what's coming up next for you? You've got Unprepped. You've got the awesome art tune stuff. My Sister Suprema. You're doing Volsung, but I'm sure I have the scripts. You're done with that.
Yeah. So that's finished.
Right. So what's on deck?
Well, I put the link up to that Patreon. It's in the private chat.
I asked you for the link, and then I just didn't copy it and paste it in there.
And I'm doing a second story for Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales with I did it already with Larry Stroman.
Oh my gosh!
Story. So
Larry Stroman,
yeah,
legend.
This work. I finished work on a secret project for Richard Meyer, which he should be announcing in a couple of months.
Okay.
And just staying busy.
Okay. It's fun. I'm really happy that it seems like the internet and social media has helped guys like you and Mike Barron have like a second act here in your older age, because you did such great influential work that influenced me when I was a kid, and many like me. And it's really nice to see you guys. I don't want to say rewarded, but just like able to keep practicing your craft because the internet democratized that. The gatekeepers, they can't keep doing what they were trying to do for so long.
Yeah, well, our careers were interrupted by our big mouths. So
right,
but we're back now.
Yeah. When was the last time you worked for Marvel or DC or anyone like that?
Well, Marvel, it's like 1999.
Oh wow.
And DC, I did something. I think it was last year. They did those 80th anniversaries.
Right.
Those 80-page giants. I did a Catwoman story and a Robin story.
Okay.
Mostly because of the artists. They lured me with the artists.
Right. I did a Bane story with you like in 2014 or something. Remember they were doing that. It was like they interrupted all the books for a few months and they did these short little miniseries that went back to the older artists. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh man, I can't remember who the artist was on that. Let me look in my folder of old books I did. But I know I did a Bane thing.
I don't think that was with me because the only Bane thing I did after leaving DC was the series with Graham Nolan.
Oh, did you do anything in Convergence? I think that's what it was called.
No, because they kept asking me, do you want to do like this 4-page thing, this 8-page thing? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do, because it was like stunt casting. I don't want to do, and they wanted me to do this one thing. Graham ended up drawing it, and he said, we want you to do this Bane thing to set up the regular writer. And I'm like, I'm not interested in setting up your regular writer.
Right, yeah. Oh, it's like dropping a girl off at her boyfriend's house or something.
Yeah. That's a perfect analogy.
Why don't you count me out on this one?
Yeah.
Tell me how it goes.
Call Uber.
Yeah. Yikes. They wanted you to set up the real Bane writer?
Yeah.
It's so insulting.
They don't even understand how. I mean, it's like the time I got a call from the Iron Man editor, and she asked me to do this story. Could I write an Iron Man story in 3 days? And I said, yeah, I'll take a shot. I've never written the character before, but I know it. I know the character. I said, what happened? Is the writer sick? Was there an accident? I mean, and she said, no, we have a new Iron Man writer, and he doesn't have any ideas yet. I'm like,
whoa, I got a question.
But you know that I'll write one for you in 3 days.
Right. He doesn't have any ideas yet. That's pretty amazing.
But I'm not the new Iron Man writer. Right. He is.
Right. Well, why is he the writer then if he doesn't have any ideas? I feel like ideas are very important. I'm going out on a limb. I know, controversial.
They do play a part in the story process.
I do feel like that's an important part of story writing is ideas.
Yeah, although you get the idea that with some of these new movies and TV series that they started without an idea.
No.
I mean, I think that's how Lost was created.
Right. What if? Yeah, the only people who ended up being lost were the writers in the writers' room.
And the audience.
Yeah, they were never seen again. Oh, and the audience too. Goodness. Yeah.
They should have called the series Disappointed.
Ugh, I never got into it, and then everyone was like disappointed at the end. But they got me eventually with Game of Thrones. That abomination of a last season. That was woof. That was not good. That was right up there with the last Star Wars, where the Emperor came back. So that was good. Darth Vader sacrificed himself in 1983 to save his son Luke from the Emperor, and Darth Vader died from the lightning bolts. But guess what, kids? Darth Vader's character arc doesn't mean shit because the Emperor's still alive. So Darth Vader didn't really sacrifice himself.
It was all pointless.
What do you think? It's like if they brought this script to a freshman writing teacher at the junior college, Palomar College, they'd be like, "No, you can't do this. This doesn't make any sense."
No.
So
it's like everything that went before was a dream.
Yeah, and the thing that's so disappointing about Disney Star Wars is special effects and computer-generated graphics have obviously never been better. Right. What they could be doing could be taking us away to fantastic adventures and worlds. And instead, we have a purple-haired admiral yelling at the male lead about how he's too dangerous with his X-Wing fighter or something. I don't know.
It's like the Dirty Harry scene,
Right.
Where the lieutenant's yelling at the detective, you're sitting in your own personal shooting gallery, Callahan. Right.
Yeah, those are fantastic too. I never saw Dirty Harry until about 4 years ago. I didn't know how brutal it was. My goodness. Yeah. My goodness. Yeah, those are right up there with Death Wish. Although I prefer Death Wish, I really do. So, here's someone. Mesa College has a great performing arts school. Any kid there could have done better. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Oh, my good. Oh, we got a disagreeer in that. Zippy the Unicorn. Lost was must-see TV. There you go.
Is that ironic? Does he mean that?
Could be. Zippy is a talking unicorn. We can't trust anything he says.
I mean, I gotta say, I enjoyed Lost for what it was until the end. So,
I don't have a good history trusting unicorns. Burn me once, shame on you. Only twice. Too many unicorns have lied to me in the past.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be in the fight in the shower with a unicorn.
No.
That won't end well.
No. Well, at least for one of you, it won't end well. Oh goodness. Oh. Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to promote or talk about? We've been going for about an hour and a half.
No. I'm good for now. I've had my portion of Gabe.
All right. Oh, couldn't have another bite right now. Okay.
I want to come back though. I want to come back for seconds at some point.
Yeah, love having you on. Yeah, I'm glad that you said you supported my book, and I'm really, really
absolutely.
Wow, I bought a ton of your comics, so you only have to buy about 1,000 more copies, so we even back out.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Of all the books I bought of yours growing up,
I'll get to work on that.
Okay, please do. Of course, I'll have to write a bunch of new books. But yeah, I'm to be totally serious, very honored that someone like you would like to say, "Hey, I want to buy his book." That's really surreal to me to be on this end of it. I'm sure you could imagine if your heroes, when you were a kid, the writers you loved and all that, were buying your books, how that feels. So thank you. It means a lot, And thank you to all the great Comicscape fans, all you great fans out there, to make stuff like this possible for me, make stuff like this possible for Chuck. It's really fun. It is justice to see, and not just justice, my awesome character. It is justice to see Chuck be able to do this stuff later in life here, have this great second act where he is making these awesome books again because the mainstream got weird and woke, and we can just help him and guys like Mike Barron keep the lights on and just, make beautiful art because they're so talented. So thank you guys so much. Please back Truth, Justice, American Way. Please check out Chuck on Patreon. I put the link in there. Check him out. He's on Facebook. You can see everything he's up to, and on ArtTunes. And his new book, where's that artwork? Come on, Gabe. What'd you do with that? It was, it's not that one. Hold on. No, Chuck, you are writing the adaptation for Netflix, right? They approach.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm working on it right now. I'm up to about page 8.
Right. I think she says
smash the hood to go fight the Ruskies.
Right. Yeah, The Ghost of Kev on Netflix, 2023. It is coming. Oh, we got Volsung in Graham Nolan's Giant Size
Two-Fisted Manly Tales.
Yes, written by Chuck, colored by me, penciled by Dave Williams, inked by Gary Martin. That's over 100 years of comic book experience between all of us. Literally.
Yeah. There you go. And I'm like most of that.
Yeah. And Unprepped is in shops from Antarctic. And Chuck is, don't tell anyone else, he's our favorite guest on this show. We love Chuck on here. Absolutely. Yeah. Don't fawn over yourself. I say that to everyone, by the way. So,
the Sammy Maudlin show. This guy.
I always tell my wife, there's slang. I don't know if you know it, Chuck, but like they say my main chick or whatever, like young people dating, because I guess they all have side chicks and whatever is the thing. So I always tell my wife she's my main chick. And then she gets mad and says I'm your only chick. I'm like, main is like, there's nothing higher than main chick. So this is a game. Let me ask you, you've been married for a while. Do you like to antagonize your wife with things like that?
No. Playfully teasing, no. Because she'll think there's some truth behind it. Even though she has no reason to believe that.
Right.
She's just like,
right.
There's some truth behind it.
Yeah, okay. No, I bother my wife, and then I like to just see her reaction. It is immature and slightly cruel. Maybe I'll stop. But thank you. And thank you for coming in, Chuck. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone, and we'll get you on again soon. All right, man?
I look forward to it.